Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into
Normally
it.
there are 3 rings in the piston, 2 compression rings, occupying the 2 upper grooves, and 1 oil ring, lower groove. The purpose of the compression rings is to prevent hot gases along the piston from escaping into the engine crankcase. The oil-removing ring removes excess oil from the cylinder mirror, preventing it from entering the combustion chamber. In addition, the rings reduce the temperature of the piston by transferring almost half of its surface heat to the cylinder walls. Signs of piston ring wear. The fact that wear has reached a critical stage is indicated by blue or black smoke from the exhaust pipe. This indicates that excess oil has entered the combustion chamber past the oil ring and has been burned along with the fuel. Black smoke coming out of the crankcase ventilation tube indicates that the compression rings are allowing gases to escape from the combustion chamber into the crankcase cavity due to wear. Critical wear is accompanied by a decrease in compression ability to hold pressure in the engine cylinders. This means that some of the gases produced by the combustion of the fuel mixture, which should have pushed the piston, have burst into the crankcase without doing any useful work. This is what will cause a drop in cylinder pressure, hence the engine will lose some power. Increased oil consumption is observed. Compression is checked with a special device, a compressometer. When the nominal values of pressure are unknown, there is no instruction manual. First it is measured in a dry cylinder, then a little engine oil is poured through the plug hole, and the measurement is done again. If the compression increases, it means that the rings need to be replaced. Similar signs can be observed in the case of their laying down. Such a problem, if the case is not too advanced, can be corrected with the help of special fuel additives. An engine with a carburetor system can be cleaned with fouling removal spray, which is injected directly into the carburetor. If the removal of soot from the combustion chamber had no effect, then there is only one way out: replacing the piston rings and cleaning the grooves. How to replace piston rings yourself? Of course, replacing the rings is a rather labor-intensive procedure. It requires accuracy and certain skills, but by and large there is nothing complicated about it if you do not remove the engine. To do this, you need to remove the cylinder head, following all the recommendations of the car manufacturer. Drain the oil, remove the flywheel guard and engine crankcase pan. Remove the oil intake. By turning the crankshaft, set the desired piston to the bottom dead center. Unscrew the connecting rod cap and remove it. Pull the piston with the connecting rod out of the cylinder by pushing it upwards with a wooden block. Clean the piston of soot. Determine the piston class by its marking and purchase a new set of piston rings corresponding to it. Each new ring is first inserted into the cylinder to check the lock clearance before installation. The clearance must be in accordance with the value specified in the vehicle's owner's manual. If it is less than necessary, the lock faces should be carefully filed with a file. The pistons are thoroughly cleaned of carbon deposits. The oil drain holes are also cleaned with a suitable wooden stick. The cleaned grooves are lubricated with clean engine oil. The rings are put on, starting with the oil ring. One side of the ring is marked TOR up to indicate how it should be installed in the piston. The locks should be installed at 120-degree intervals relative to each other. This will prevent gases from penetrating through them. Do not dress the rings with a coil. Such installation may be accompanied by the appearance of microcracks, which will lead to their breakage. Reassemble in reverse order, in parallel, cleaning everything with a clean rag and lubricating with fresh engine oil. Pistons must be installed exactly in the cylinders from which they were removed. Also, the connecting rod covers with connecting rod liners must be put on the same connecting rods from which they were removed. If the wear of connecting rod liners allows their reuse, then replacement should not be done, as it will require boring the crankshaft journals. On your own, Such work without experience will not be performed qualitatively. Tools required for the work to replace the rings will need sets of horn and socket wrenches, as well as a wrench with an extension. And heads rated 10 to 19, torque wrench, special crimp, mandrel. In addition, you will need oil-resistant sealant. It will come in handy during the installation of crankcase pan gaskets and valve cover.